See that they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career. I'll be connecting them down like, wow, these brothers gotta wear a dress.
Dixon is suing Tyler Perry, the individual, as well as his production studio.
He claims they met at the 2019 opening party for Tyler Perry Studios in Atlanta.
For years, Dave Chappelle has thrown subtle shade at Tyler Perry, calling out the weird Hollywood power, the control, and the underground secrets people were too scared to touch.
So what is happening in Hollywood? Nobody knows. The worst thing to call somebody is crazy is dismissive.
Some thought Dave was just joking, but now a shocking new lawsuit just blew the lid off everything, and it looks like Chappelle was right all along.
And Tyler Perry went out to clubs and partied with friends and went and participated in the gay lifestyle like everybody else. Tyler Perry's probably been gay since he was a little.
So what exactly did Dave warn us about? And what does this new lawsuit reveal that has Hollywood scrambling for cover? Let's find out. Lately, Tyler Perry has been caught up in controversy, with several artists speaking out and saying he might not truly support other black artists. Even with these claims, it looks like the drama isn't over yet. Recently, he got involved in a lawsuit. Actor Derek Dixon sued Tyler Perry for $260 million, claiming he was SA-ed, and faced retaliation.
Filed lawsuit accuses Tyler Perry of an actor on one of the filmmaker's shows. Actor Derek Dixon has sued Perry for $260 million.
The lawsuit was filed on Friday, June 13th in Los Angeles. According to court documents shared by People, Dixon said that while he was working on Tyler Perry's TV shows The Oval and Ruthless, Perry created a relationship that felt controlling and inappropriate. Dixon played a character named Dale on those shows. He said things started off well. Perry gave him acting roles and promised to help produce his pilot. But according to Dixon, everything changed when he didn't return Perry's romantic interest. He claimed that Perry began harassing and pressuring him, and eventually damaged his career after being rejected.
Tyler Perry has been hit with a huge lawsuit from an actor by the name of Derek Dixon.
Tyler Perry's lawyer, Matthew Boyd, told People that the lawsuit was nothing more than a setup. This is someone who got close to Tyler Perry just to run a scam, he said. Tyler won't be bullied, and we believe these false claims won't stand. Dixon said that over the next few months, Perry kept texting him, sometimes flirting, and other times promising to help him find work and turn his life around. In November 2019, Perry gave him a small role on Ruthless. Then in January 2020, Dixon claimed that Perry actually assaulted him at his home. Just 1 month later, Perry gave him a regular role on The Oval. Dixon said that when he read the script for his character on The Oval, he noticed that the ending left things open. His character's future wasn't clear. According to the lawsuit, Perry told him that if he didn't flirt back or play along, his character would off. And that's exactly what happened. By the end of the first season, Dixon's character Dale was shot 4 times in the chest. Dixon believed Perry did this to pressure him, hinting that Dale could survive if Dixon kept him happy. After filming that scene, Dixon said Perry invited him into his trailer, where he allegedly pinned him against the wall and groped him aggressively. Dixon also claimed a similar incident happened in October 2020 during a cast trip to the Bahamas, where Perry allegedly groped him again. By December, Dixon said he visited a doctor who told him he was showing signs of severe stress, trouble sleeping, stomach issues, and very low cortisol levels. The doctor prescribed him Zoloft, a medication for anxiety and depression. Then in June 2021, Perry reportedly invited Dixon to his house again, saying he wanted to talk about Dixon's pilot Losing It, which Perry had once shown interest in producing. But Dixon said that during that visit, he was assaulted again.
Perry him at Perry's Atlanta home in January of 2020.
In the 5 months after the alleged incidents, Dixon said he struggled with severe depression, anxiety, stomach pain, and constant nausea. He was eventually diagnosed with PTSD. During that time, he claimed that people close to Perry, referred to in the lawsuit as fixers, tried to calm things down by offering him a raise to stay on The Oval. They also said Perry would buy the rights to produce his show Losing It. In January 2023, Dixon said he told Perry he was moving to California to create some distance between them. He continued working on The Oval for a while, but ended up leaving during the final season. Because of that, he said he lost almost $400,000 in potential earnings. Now, Dixon is suing Perry for several serious claims, asking for a jury trial and seeking $260 million in damages. Now, Chappelle has always talked about it. Chappelle also said that Tyler Perry played a big role Kevin Hart. When Kevin found out that Chappelle had spoken about it publicly, he got upset and confronted him. Now people are starting to question what's really going on between Kevin and Chappelle and what their relationship is like.
When things happen that can possibly affect your brand, your brand can be diminished, and you don't want that to happen. So, protecting my brand is definitely a priority.
The feud got worse when Kevin Hart showed up on a TV show wearing feminine clothes, which sparked a lot of backlash. People pointed out that this went against what he had said before in an interview, where he clearly stated he wouldn't do anything unprofessional just to succeed in Hollywood. He had tried to set himself apart from others in the industry, but this move made people question that.
I was like, no, I'm gonna look stupid. At the end of the day, you gotta know that you're a brand.
Following this incident, Kevin made an unexpected appearance on a television show, seemingly indifferent to safeguarding his brand and dignity. Dave Chappelle found this particularly troubling because he values dignity and has consistently advocated for fair treatment of Black individuals in the entertainment industry, highlighting how they are often mistreated by Hollywood elites.
Pope Conventionate is lifting her arms into her signature muscle man pose.
Kevin doing these absurd things bothered Chappelle, and he spilled tea on every single detail of who tricked Kevin to appear like this on the TV screens.
There's no animosity there, but there's an awareness of where the void is. So now I take that and I make sure I apply it to mine.
According to him, it is Tyler who has been involved in grooming Black artists. This belief among people was further intensified when a Twitter user uploaded a video. This individual chose to openly voice her discontent with Tyler Perry's films, highlighting what she believed to be a bias in his work. Taking her critique a step further, she went on to create and share a video on social media, drawing a comparison between Tyler Perry's films and what she considered to be subpar quality. Her criticism did not stop at this point.
I'm not a Tyler Perry fan, so this is what I got to say. It's funny how he got all this money to do everything but the right thing.
The woman claimed that Tyler Perry is afraid of white people and said this fear was affecting the way he makes creative choices. Her comment struck a chord with many, leading others to speak out and share their own thoughts about Tyler Perry and his work.
And they said they loved the script, but they wasn't sure how the film was going to turn out, so they passed.
These videos imply that there might be a hidden truth beneath the surface. The question arises, what could be Tyler Perry's secret that has led some dark-skinned actors to decline working with him?
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, he starts to block us, telling the actors where to go, where to stand. Mr. Perry comes in, everything changes. So we literally run the entire episode for him.
Tyler Perry definitely made a big impact, rising to fame through Atlanta's theater scene and hitting it big at the box office with his Madea movies. But his journey hasn't been without drama. There have been rumors that his ego got so big, he even clashed with powerful names like Oprah. In the cutthroat world of Hollywood, success often comes with some shady moves, and it looks like Perry might be no exception.
And when I'm hearing all this noise, man, it was crazy because there were no Black people on television. Before diversity became a thing, Tyler Perry was the only one out there for a long time.
After scoring big at the box office, Tyler Perry moved into television with the hit sitcom House of Pain. But things took a turn when drama broke out during talks for a syndication deal and a spin-off called Meet the Browns. According to Deadline, Perry fired 4 writers who had asked for union contracts, sparking backlash in the industry. One of the writers, Terry Jackson, voiced her frustration, saying, "We were good enough to create over 100 episodes, but when it's time to benefit from syndication and spin-offs, he lets us go unless we accept a terrible deal." Perry responded by saying he'd just write everything himself from then on. But the issues didn't stop there. In 2015, actor unions SAG-AFTRA and Actors Equity banned their members from working on his stage play Madea on the Run because his company wouldn't sign union contracts. While Perry may be focused on keeping control and boosting profits, many in the industry haven't agreed with how he goes about it.
There's a camera on you, baby.
Is there a camera on me right now?
Back behind you.
Oh, hello. Praise the Lord. We'd like to tell everybody in Dallas that we are on our way. Thank you.
Following the success of House of Pain and Meet the Browns, African-American journalist and cultural critic Jamilah Lemieux penned an open letter to Tyler Perry, published by NPR. In her letter, Lemieux conveyed her discomfort with Perry's utilization of stereotypes in his work. She expressed, through her, the country has laughed at one of the most important members of the Black community, Mother Dear, the beloved matriarch. I just can't quite get with seeing Mother Dear played by a 6'3" man with prosthetic breasts flopping in the wind. Our mothers and grandmothers deserve much more than that. Heck, our fathers and grandfathers deserve more. Mr. Perry, you have told the Hollywood old guard to kiss your backside, and I appreciate that, brother. But many black folks have expressed some of the very same attitudes about your work that white critics have. Notably, acclaimed film director Spike Lee is among the prominent figures who criticize Tyler Perry for employing stereotypical characters in his work. Lee is known for openly addressing this concern with Perry.
But I still think there a lot of stuff that's on today is coonery and buffoonery. And I know it's making a lot of money.
Spike Lee continued to assert that due to the production of stereotypical movies, individuals like Tyler Perry were breaking records. From Lee's perspective, the industry could elevate its standards by steering clear of biased and nonsensical films that feature designated one-dimensional characters.
Breaking records, but we could do better.
Tyler Perry's casting and character portrayal choices have become a noticeable point of discussion among viewers, sparking conversations about his business strategy. Some critics argue that Perry often casts dark-skinned actors in villainous roles while portraying white-skinned individuals as heroes in his movies and shows. This perception has triggered debates and discussions within his audience about the representation and portrayal of characters in his work.
Pitiful black woman being by a no-good, dark-skinned man, and then saved and rescued by the perfect light-skinned man.
At a public event, Chris Rock took a jab at a pattern he noticed in Tyler Perry's films, specifically the lack of kind and respectful dark-skinned black male characters. Rock pointed out how Perry's movies often cast dark-skinned boyfriends as the villains or rather than well-rounded or positive figures. To make his point, he referenced Tupac Shakur, saying, Tupac might be a political leader if he was alive, but then again, Tupac might be in a Tyler Perry movie right now. He might be the bad, dark-skinned boyfriend. Rock added a bit of dark humor, joking, I would hope he's a senator, but he might be kicking Jill Scott down a flight of stairs. His remarks highlighted what he sees as a troubling trend in Perry's casting and storytelling choices. Chris Rock's critique echoed earlier comments by director Spike Lee, who also questioned the messages being sent through Perry's films. Together, their criticisms have sparked ongoing conversations about how race and character representation are handled in mainstream black cinema and what effect that might have on audiences.
You know, are we going back to Mantan Moreland and sleep and eat?
Yet, if those films, I mean, we're talking about Tyler Perry.
When we look closely at the entertainment industry, it's clear that colorism has been a long-standing issue. In recent years, Hollywood has faced heavy criticism, often sparked by viral social media campaigns that quickly spread from Twitter to TV news. Some say that convicted offender Harvey Weinstein was one of the first major figures to shine a harsh light on the industry's dark side. Back in 2017, many essay allegations came out against him, revealing the troubling culture behind the scenes in Hollywood.
There's a new documentary that is all about the dark side of Hollywood and how some power players allegedly use their positions to prey on young aspiring actors.
After the #Me Too movement gained attention, Hollywood was hit with several major scandals. One example was when comedian Kevin Hart stepped down as the Oscars host in 2019 after old homophobic tweets resurfaced. Around the same time, the #Oscars So White campaign called out the lack of diversity at the Oscars, pushing for more recognition of people of color and underrepresented groups. As a result, Hollywood's image has taken a big hit, and what was once the glamorous Walk of Fame now feels more like a disappointing Walk of Shame with missing stars.
Kevin Hart has stepped down from hosting this year's Oscars. He put out a statement on Twitter tonight saying, I have made the choice to step down.
On a February afternoon in 1940s, America, actress Hattie McDaniel made history by becoming the first African-American to win an Oscar. She received the Best Supporting Actress award for her role in Gone with the Wind, 1940. While this was a huge achievement, it was overshadowed by the racism of the time. Hattie was forced to sit separately from the rest of the guests at the ceremony, which was basically a whites-only event. What should have been a moment of celebration was instead a reminder of the deep racial divides in Hollywood.
When I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down like, wow, these brothers gotta wear a dress.
80 years later, the film industry is still dealing with regular discrimination, even though there have been some steps toward more diversity. The 2020 Oscars were once again overshadowed by racial controversies, something that has sadly become familiar to both audiences and people working in Hollywood. A clear example was the surprising snub of Lupita Nyong'o, who gave a powerful performance in the 2019 film Us, but didn't receive a nomination. Incidents like this highlight the ongoing ongoing problem of racial bias in the industry.
And the Oscar goes to Lupita Nyong'o.
The issue of racial bias in the film industry persists, with movies and shows, including those by Tyler Perry, serving as prominent examples. It's increasingly evident, as seen in Perry's films, that black-skinned actors are often cast as villains. A notable instance is Steve Harris, who portrayed Charles McCarter in one of Tyler Perry's classic movies, Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Despite being a successful lawyer, Charles reveals the existence of another woman in his life to his wife, Helen, and proceeds to treat her disrespectfully, ultimately ejecting her from their home. But Dave also said that the public's perception of Hollywood is at odds with reality, and that it is filled with lovable people like Tyler. Dave supposedly remarked that once you see their genuine faces, you won't be able to stand them since they are too diabolical to bear. He said, "It's the same monster that these Me Too B was trying to tell you about, but they hate the monster for how it F, and I hate that monster for how it eats. But my God, man, it's the same monster." And it turns out that Dave is the only one who can keep up with his words without fearing anyone. Even though Kevin told everybody that he will refuse to wear such dresses because he has boundaries, he showed up in SNL during his debut and shocked everybody, including Chappelle.
I'm doing what it is that I've really dreamt of doing, which is becoming a global brand and what I love to do and tell jokes. So I'm happy.
Hart commented that he thought it was humorous and that no one had informed him that he was forced to do anything. But is it really that straightforward? It took Chappelle 8 years to make his comedic comeback, during which time he was surrounded by a world that made him feel very uneasy. Oprah Winfrey was the subject of his first public interview when he returned home, and he used the opportunity to talk about the experience that forced him to go against the grain of what Hollywood was attempting to become, but clearly did not want to be. In addition to this, he discussed his personal encounter with the dress and how he came to the conclusion that Hollywood, and possibly even the Illuminati, were attempting to demean and degrade black men.
I'm not wearing no dress, man. I'm funnier than a dress. Just give me something funny to say. I don't need to wear no dress to be funny.
Then he made a cryptic reference to a minor but significant part of the narrative. He exposes a sinister plan developing behind the scenes, one that most viewers won't understand.
A weak person cannot get to sit here and talk to you.
It seems like Kevin Hart is now facing the same pressures and scrutiny that Dave Chappelle has long warned about. Some fans believe that just like Eddie Murphy and other comedy legends, Hart is being softened or controlled by Hollywood's higher powers. People are pointing to the time he wore a dress on Saturday Night Live as supposed proof, something Chappelle openly criticized years ago, suggesting comedians are often pushed into roles or situations that undermine their image. And now Hart's name is being tossed around in conspiracy circles, with some followers wondering if he's connected to the so-called Illuminati, a mysterious elite group many believe controls the entertainment industry behind the scenes. There's also that awkward moment on the Kelly Clarkson show that raised eyebrows. While discussing taking low-level work for money, Clarkson mentioned doing things she normally wouldn't. But when she suggested that the people offering the money should come forward, Hart quickly jumped in, saying, "It's an open dialogue. We can talk about anything," while putting his finger to his lips, almost like a subtle signal to quiet down. That moment has fueled even more speculation about the things celebrities can and can't say on air.
But I've had people throw millions of dollars in my face to do something I didn't want to do. And what? Just, you've been off, yeah.
And people started to speculate that something weird is definitely happening. Tyler Perry's films, like Acrimony, often ignite heated debates on social media platforms such as Twitter. Some viewers criticize him for repeatedly showing black women struggling in toxic relationships, while others believe he's simply shedding light on real issues that many black women face. These mixed reactions highlight Perry's strong influence as a storyteller and his ability to spark meaningful conversations. However, critics argue that despite his positive contributions to the black community, Perry's work deserves more critical examination. They point out that his films and TV shows sometimes portray black women in a negative light or place them in harmful situations. Others say his stories often push the idea that living by respectability politics, being polite, proper, and traditional, is the only way his characters can find happiness or success.
Manage it, grow it, through all the growing pains of it all. You've managed to do it all on your own, figuring it out and learning as you've gone. Calling me a lot.
Not just actors, years, many black comedians have also shared their issues with Tyler Perry. Over the years, some black comedians have used cross-dressing in their routines to get laughs. The humor often comes from the contrast between their strong personalities and the unexpected image of them wearing dresses and heels. While this can be funny, it also sends a deeper message. Using cross-dressing in comedy like this can have consequences. As Dave Chappelle once pointed out,
When I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down like, wow, all these brothers gotta wear a dress.
during a recent appearance on Oprah's show, comedian Dave Chappelle raised an interesting point. He asked why so many successful black male entertainers have worn dresses at some point in their careers. For example, Martin Lawrence became well known for playing the lead in the Big Mama's House movies. Similarly, Eddie Murphy played a female character in the Nutty Professor films.
This happened to me. I'm doing a movie with Martin.
Yeah.
The movie's going good. So I walk in the trailer. I'm like, man, this must be the wrong trailer because there's a dressing.
Among these examples, one figure emerges as the most prominent cross-dresser in contemporary entertainment, Tyler Perry. Perry, recognized not only for his contributions to the entertainment industry, but also for his influence in right-wing evangelical circles, has achieved significant success and acclaim through his Madea franchise.
Black, that's a Black Friday. What you talking about?
Tyler Perry has not only achieved success in the gospel play arena, but has also effectively expanded his triumph into the film industry, bringing his unique portrayal to a broader cinematic audience.
No, it's a stage play. It's like Broadway, just with black people.
Remarkably, Tyler Perry's latest book, Don't Make a Black Woman Take Off Her Earrings, even secured a spot on the prestigious New York Times bestsellers list. This raises an intriguing question. What lies beneath this phenomenon? Why do these artists choose to engage in acts that may appear to challenge traditional masculinity? And why does the audience enthusiastically embrace the spectacle of black men in such situations? One perspective is that portraying black masculinity in a more feminine context could potentially reduce the perception of threat and increase comfort for certain individuals. These cross-dressing depictions of black men might serve as a counterbalance to the dominant and assertive image often associated with hip-hop culture. Over the years, Hollywood has been heavily criticized for promoting harmful stereotypes that shaped how black people are seen by the public. Many have argued that because of limited opportunities in the industry, black artists often had no choice but to take on these stereotypical roles just to keep working and make a living.
A weak person cannot get to sit here and talk to you.
Although the entertainment industry still hasn't reached full racial equality, today's performers do have more control over the roles they choose. What's interesting is that some of them still willingly take on cross-dressing roles, Kevin Hart being a well-known example.
Pope Conventionate is lifting her arms into her signature muscle man pose.
Many individuals have expressed their opposition to witnessing more instances of black men in dresses, arguing that this phenomenon has reached its saturation point. They contend that our society is already influenced by numerous factors that may undermine the perception of black men's masculinity, and there's no need to further contribute to these forces in any way.
When things happen that can possibly affect your brand, your brand can be diminished, and you don't want that to happen. So, protecting my brand is definitely a priority.
It is indeed disheartening that we are opposed to witnessing further instances of black men in dresses. This phenomenon seems to have reached its limit, and our society already grapples with numerous factors that can undermine the perception of black men's masculinity.
I was like, no, I'm gonna look stupid. At the end of the day, you gotta know that you're a brand.
Over an extended period, Hollywood played a leading role in perpetuating a variety of regrettable stereotypes that ultimately influence the perception of black individuals for a significant portion of the population. During this period, a debate emerged, suggesting that due to the limited opportunities in the entertainment industry, black artists often felt compelled to take on stereotypical roles as a means of sustaining their livelihoods. That's it for today. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.